Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to Mrs. Cog Hill Farm. You can see that the wind is blowing a little bit. It's blowing in a cold front and I barely got finished just in time for the birds to be winter ready. Alabama doesn't get that cold here, but birds that are not native to our area, such as Victorian crown pigeons, a native of New Guinea, have to have heat in the winter. And if you guys remember, last winter we covered the aviary in plastic and depended on a heater that was bird safe to keep those birds warm. And I didn't want to do that again this year because we have days like today when the sun's shining and the temperatures are going to drop pretty low tonight, but during the daytime, they can be outside. So I didn't want to block their sunlight and I didn't want it to create a greenhouse effect on days that it is warm. So I'm ready to show y'all the finished product. So first things first, I told you guys that I needed to make an area for the pigeons, Marycarl's pigeons that live inside the purple part of the purple pigeon palace to come outside so they would have enough space to share with the Victorian crown pigeons that need to be winterized. Now, her pigeons do not need to be put up during the cold nights, although they do have access to go inside. So we're going to leave that to where they can come and go as they please and have this nice area. For the most part, I constructed it, but luckily Roberto and his helper were able to build the doors for me, which I told you guys I was having a bit of trouble, and he was able to get the roof on for me. So I am so thankful to have it completed. Now let's go inside. So you guys realize these are not my birds. So when I do go inside here, they may do a little flopping around because they're not used to seeing me come in here. But I built this for them, so I have the complete and total ability to come and go as I please. Now this is a two-door system. You can see what I just did. I just came from this area behind me, and it's a little enclosed area that is like you see in zoos and whatnot, just so the birds can't escape. So here I go into the outside part of the pigeon area that I built onto the Victoria crown pigeon area. It's separated by hardware cloth, and we did make a lot of perches. You can see there's some natural branches over there in the back, and then we've got a swing that's hanging up in the middle. She's got some perches that she purchased hanging up on the wall area right here. But y'all, I don't even know where to begin to tell you what all the breeds are that she has out here. And she and Jason were doing something, so I didn't want to ask her to come and help. I do know that these are called fantails, the ones with the big tail that looks like a fan, and the black and gold one right there, that is called an archangel. Okay, I'm not going to get too close to them, but I wanted to show you guys what I did as far as a door situation. So you can see that they use this area. I made a little ledge and just simply cut a hole open. I have the ability to close it off on the inside if we ever want to keep them in or out with a little door system. And then for the ones that are not good flyers, I built a ramp here that you can use this door to go into. So I am really, really pleased with the outcome. And yes, that is one on the outside. She lets certain ones go outside and fly, ones that were born here and not brought in from another pigeon place, because if she let those fly, they would try to go back to their original home. So The ones that do fly were born here and they know where to come. And some of them, she just simply doesn't want to take a chance of losing those. Now this one right here, you can see is about to use the ramp to come out. The fantails don't fly as well as some of the other ones, so they appreciate the ramp. They can just waddle on down, so to speak, and make their way outside to the big wide world, where I'm so happy that they can get to enjoy the sunshine now. We had the area that, well, I'm not going to go around that way, but they're going to fly. I had the area that I built, but it was just simply a small area that they could go outside. This is much larger. It's more of a flighted area. So they can spread those wings out, as you see that one just did, and enjoy this. So now, what have I done to allow the Victorian crown pigeons to be winterized? Well, let me show you. So here I am in the outdoor aviary where the Victorian crown pigeons normally reside. You can see the Australian crested doves are perched high, and they don't need to be winterized like the Victorians do. They can stay out year-round without any complications, and so can the ringnecks. So our only concern was the Victorian crown pigeons. And you see their nest that they built. This is the second nest. The first one is still in existence. But we are thinking about building a box, a platform like we did right here, and putting it on the inside because they're still showing nesting behaviors. All right, now I want to show you I'm not completely finished, but this is the hole that I cut. And you can see I have it covered in plastic right now just to lock that cold inside. And over the next couple of days, when the temperatures warm back up, we intend to let them back out. What we needed to do was for them to be indoors once it was completed, which it is, and them to feel like this was their home, to be fed there, to have water there, to know that they can come in this area from the outside. And I think that that's going to give them an opportunity to do just that, and that is learn where their new area is. It's got to be more comfortable to them being in there in the warm versus being out here on the cold days. So while I haven't, I'm celebrating because I call it finished, but it's not completely finished. I plan to build a sliding door instead of using this plastic as a permanent solution. I'm going to build a sliding door like a barn doors, and Marycarl will be able to open and close it to lock them in when it's cold at night, or if the daytime temperatures were to get low enough to where they need to be inside. And I've built a ramp, so I'm going to show you guys that before we're finished. But I'm going to try to show y'all the inside and where they are. Okay, so I'm in the room that I constructed for them to be able to come inside. We have access to power in here. We can run the little heater. It's a much more contained area to keep that heat from escaping in the big wide world that we had it last year, which was the entire aviary. It couldn't have done a very good job at maintaining temperatures, whereas this area is doing a phenomenal job. I'm really impressed with how much warmer it is in here versus outside. So I'm going to show you these beautiful birds. Okay, so here they are. And this is a stick that Marycarl and I went in the woods and found, and were able to attach it across the room. It's bigger than what it seems. I am back kind of far and I'm zooming in with my camera, but this room is half the size of the entire Purple Pigeon Palace. So that should tell you an idea about how much space it is. Now, the male is over here to your right. He has this silver band on, and the female is to the left. And we had some windows that were in here that lead to the outdoor area that I initially built. So I built some frames here that Marycarl can lift those windows open. So in the summertime, they can get some good air circulation in here, and still use this for an indoor area. If they want to raise their children in here, that's fine. If they want to spend most of their time in here, that's fine. Whatever they choose to do, they will have the ability. So those windows will open up, and there's hardware cloth blocking the outside, so there's no chance of a predator getting in or them escaping. And here's the wall that I built. This is the separation that goes to the area outside that I intended for the pigeons to be able to free fly. And I've covered it in plastic just to double kind of insulate it. But y'all, I'm amazed at how well they did. I'll show y'all now the actual shooing them in here. We didn't know how that was going to go because, well, first of all, I'm not finished with the ramp in the little hole area. I want them to get adjusted to that on their own without us forcing them. So what we did was we opened the area. It's kind of, well, it's right out here. It's a separate area that allows birds from escaping, and we just opened the door from the aviary to in that area, and they went upstairs. I mean, they climbed the stairs, and it went much smoother than I ever imagined. You'll see in the video that the female went first, and she is a lot more skittish than he is. So once she went in, we really didn't know what to do because we got one in, but we got to leave the door open for the second one to come in. And he's a lot, I mean, we could touch him. He's so friendly. So what we did was we just kind of walked behind him. I've got video of him actually coming in this area, but not me and Marycarl shooing him in here. We just kind of walked behind him, and he knew she was in here. So he, of course, wanted to be with her, and it all worked out. I'm very pleased at there was no injuries that occurred because we knew we had to get them in here. No matter what it took, we had to get them in here.
I don't know. Go behind the door. Come on in, big man. Real scared. Let's go. Let's go. We're almost there. And okay, close the door behind you, big boy. Gotta come in here. There's a dove in here. Is it? Yeah.
I think y'all are getting a really up close view of these beautiful birds. Oh my gracious, they're so beautiful. And those red eyes. I'm going to zoom in on that so you guys can kind of see that beautiful red eye. And their crest, isn't that phenomenal? It is just amazing. What a treat. While I'm out here recording, the 2 mamas and the 5 baby pea chicks decided that they would come and get them a quick bite to eat while passing through. So y'all get to see them a little bit closer than you did in the last video, and you can see how big these babies have actually gotten. I mean, the babies are in between the 2 mamas here, but my gracious, have they grown, and it happened so fast. So you may wonder about, that's a call duck, hence the name call duck, because their call is kind of loud. But you may wonder about the temperature for the peacocks or pea chicks, pea hens, and they do absolutely fine in our Alabama weather. They don't have to be put up at night or anything such as that. So thankful that they can thrive and do well out here without having to catch them and try to put them under any kind of cover. I think that would be about impossible. But here they are, 5 babies and 2 mamas. And while you think you may know the sex of them by looking at their demeanor, meaning put their tail up, you think that indicates a male? Not so. The babies that are females, they put their tails up. They indicate that they are male just like the females do. And it's just a bizarre occurrence to try to sex a baby pea chick. Well, this one right here, and you see its mama just kind of ran it off, but I can see that the area of its neck color is more blue than the mama's, which is more green. Until they turn their neck around, then it looks blue. So I have no idea. I have no idea if we have females, males, without a DNA sex at this point. Up until they're probably a year old, we'll still be guessing what they are. And like I said, tail up indicates nothing. Females do it just as much as males do at an early age. Look who just decided to join his family. And I say join his family because I know this fella's a male. Even though he's shed most of his tail feathers and he's not in that beautiful full peacock feathering that he is during the warmer months, there he is, Mr. Scott Peacock himself with his family. And you see they all get along just fine. He does not wander around with them like the 2 females and the babies. He stays in this fenced-in area. Now from time to time he'll fly out and walk around, but for the most part he sees this as his home and he stays inside the fence, whereas the females go out and meander around. Right, Scott? So see, they are walking away and he's staying and having a little dinner. So I told y'all I was going to show you the constructed ramp, and I'm over at the garage where I constructed this ramp. It's heavy. It's really heavy. So I'll use the side-by-side to carry it over there. Once those birds are back outside on a warm day and they are not hearing screwing and hammering inside their new house, I'm going to get this installed. So I just used 4 pieces of decking and I made it 4.5 foot long. Holly thinks it's for her to walk on, obviously. And then I used some lattice strips so that their feet can kind of get a grip as they go up at an angle. And I'm going to use the top piece of board to kind of anchor it to the entrance to their area. Well, I told y'all one day I'd be finished. I'd be finished with that aviary project. I'm glad that I don't have anything pressing at the moment, but then again, my wheels are turning and I'm trying to figure out what I can do next. So I appreciate you all that joined me on this adventure of winterizing the aviary in a different way than I did last year, and hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share, and y'all be good.